Okay, welcome back everybody, all you MR2 fans. It's another week, it's another day to do some MR2 stuff. So last week you saw us paint the valve cover and that came out pretty good. So today is going to be the install. So all the tear down work has been completed. So it's really just building back up and getting everything nice and fresh and looking good. So today we're going to put the valve cover back on. We're going to have that properly sealed, bolted down, torqued to spec. I actually got some stainless steel bolts. Changing out the factory ones just to these. I think they're kind of shiny. Hopefully they work just as well. So we're going to do that. I have some spark plugs, so we'll also be replacing the spark plugs. These are the old ones and we're using these new ones right here. This is the part number, so we'll talk a little bit about that some more as we get into the install. Again, simple stuff, but you know, if you've never done it, then it's kind of helpful to look at these videos. I also have the fuel rail. This was painted, so I have the fuel rail nicely painted, and I got the injectors. You'll see in a previous video where we had the injectors clean, so we're going to do the install back today to get it back on the engine, and that's what's coming up, so stay tuned. For right now, I did mention that we would get some new parts, so those came in, so I'm just going to show you what came in. So this is transmission fluid. So I had before the lightweight shockproof, and Ty from TCS, he recommended that I change to the MT90. So the S54 trying to uses 2.7 quarts of this. So I just decided to try the MT90. This is actually probably has like less than 50 miles in the car right now, but you got to drain everything to install the new engine. So this is going to be replaced with these guys. So we got the MT90. So for all you MT90 guys, Redline MT90 guys, you'll be happy. For the ones who think something else, then hey, it is what it is. So so that's for the tranny. Also got a clutch. This is a hybrid clutch. So basically you gotta, we're putting a 3S GT in with the S54, which is an NA tranny. So you gotta get a hybrid clutch. So this has the 3S GT pressure plate, and then it has the S54 clutch disc. So I still gotta get a flywheel. I'm contemplating if I get an aftermarket flywheel or if I try to get a factory 3S GT flywheel and get it refinished, but that's gonna be coming up. But for now, this is the clutch that we got. This is from South Bend, and basically this is what we got right here. So it comes with some instructions. It does come with a throwout bearing, and all these parts say Excetti, so I'm assuming they use Excetti core and just rebuild on top of them. So again, South Bend clutch. I think I'm gonna go get an OEM one, but I gotta inspect this. There are a couple of videos online that suggest that some of these parts are plastic. This one is all metal, so I may use it back, but I'm not sure. So this came with the kit, but I might get the Toyota factory one. If I do, I'll post in another video and show the part number for it. Also got new flywheel bolts and pressure plate bolts. So this is a replacement because you can't use the old ones. And here is the pressure plate, and that's the disc. So this is 3S GTE, and that is from a S54 clutch disc. All right, so that's the clutch that came in. So as you know, this will be in a later project when we actually use this stuff, but I'm just getting all the parts together. So use this video just to kind of say these are all the things you're going to need to purchase, so you can get your list together. So once you start moving, you don't have to wait for parts. You have everything you need to work with. Okay, so this is the clutch, and those are the fluids. Now we also got some more parts here. So I got the TCS intercooler kit. So it comes with this is for the Gen5 specific. So it comes with the hot pipe, cold pipe, nicely polished. So I like that. It's going to go well with the polished look that we have on some of the parts on the engine. So we have these here. Still need to get them on the plastic and mock it up and everything, but that will come in another video, so stay tuned. It does come with all the clamps and rubber hoses that you need to install, and it has the fan. So this is a full kit. It has everything. It has the fan for the intercooler as well. So we'll get the wiring done when we send the wiring harness out, so we can hook this up. Parts. Has all the brackets, everything to install the fans. And inside here, we have the intercooler, right? So I'm gonna cut this box open so you guys don't have to watch me on camera, and I'll show you this right after, so stay tuned. We got the box open. So yeah, it's funny when you see these things online or even in these videos, you know, everything looks bigger than it really is, because here's the intercooler. It's pretty small, but you know, I guess there's not much space to work with anyways in engine bay. So here is the intercooler. Check it out. You guys are seeing it the first time I'm seeing it. So always fun to see nice shiny parts. So the welds look pretty good. So, you know, looks good to me. So glad to have this in. So this will be the intercooler kit that we'll use on the swap. So I'm gonna pack everything back up, and then we're gonna get right back to work on the engine. So just let's see what happens now. Let's get this valve cover on. All right, so valve cover time. So we're gonna put a little bit of the blue RTV. And this is recommended for valve covers. I know a lot of guys use the Toyota silicone, but this should be just fine. So we're gonna use this guy here. I already started putting a little bit. We need to put some silicone right in the corners here by where the cams are. So one here, one over here, one over here. So it doesn't require too much. So just a dab. Just so when the gasket goes on, I guess these areas, the gasket doesn't fit too perfect. So let's put a little bit there. And then we just take the valve cover and we're gonna put it on top. You're always concerned if you're doing too much or too little. So this is what I'm doing. And should work. Worked on the last one I did, so should work. Alrighty. So we have the silicone in the corners, so I want to put this on before it gets tacky. And then this is a valve cover. I did use my air compressor here to blow out all the inside of the valve cover, because I did have it washed, and I want to make sure that there's no contaminant inside. So this is nice and clean. And then the rubbers, you basically just put them in the grooves. You can't really mess this up. There's one set of rubber that goes around here, and then a separate one here. So basically it's a two-piece for the Gen 5 one, and then the second one right here. So now we're just going to set this on and put the bolts down and torque it in. All right, so I'm just gonna get it from this side. So when I drop it and this thing presses in, presses right down on the silicone that I had here. All right, that's looking nice and sharp. Now we're going to get the bolts in. So again, I have the stainless, so we got the 3 long ones. These go in the middle. We're going to thread these in. And we're going to torque these down. And these are going to be torqued to 6 foot-pounds. We got 3 in the front of the engine. And I'm just hand tightening these for now, just to get everything in their spot so it's all nice and lined up. 3 in the front. The reason why I'm doing this is you can kind of play with the valve cover just to seat it properly. I don't want to be forcing anything here. There you go. And then we got the 4 in the back. So just make sure everything goes in nice and smooth. Shouldn't be binding or anything. That way you know you got the valve cover positioned well. And I must say, these stainless steel screws actually look pretty good. I do have 4 extra ones that go for the coil packs. So once you put the coil packs on, everything will be finished in this nice look here. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna do a crisscross pattern. I'm gonna tighten the middle, and I'm gonna go left, right, crisscross pattern basically to get all of these done, because the idea is to get everything nicely snug. So you tighten this gasket down evenly on all sides, and then we're gonna torque everything to final spec. Alright, so the valve cover is on, everything is snugged down, so now we're going to do the final torque spec. I like to torque it from the middle, and then I'm going to torque crisscross, so here it goes. And we're doing 6 foot-pounds here. That's what's recommended on the Gen 5. I'm going to torque everything in the middle, so there are 10 bolts. 3 in the middle are done. Now I'm going to go on the front. It's number 4. Crisscross over here to number 5. Let's jump over here. Number 6. Seven, 8, and then our last one, 10. So this is all nicely torqued down. All right, so there you go. Valve cover is on, looking all good. And to finish it up, got a nice TCS all cap, so we're gonna put that cherry on top. And then we're gonna move on to getting the injectors on now. Alrighty, so here is the valve cover. Man, I love this thing. I hated the old color, as you guys know before, so I think the gloss black looks really good. So that's on, and now we're gonna get to the injectors. So come on over to the bench and let's get the injectors set up. So pretty simple with the injectors. There's an O-ring on the end, and I use a little bit some tire wet, to be honest with you, and just put it on the O-ring just so when it goes in, it doesn't snag, if anything. I mean, they're going in pretty easy. I got one in already, and basically you just go and you just pop it right in. This one goes in pretty easy. Got new seals, new O-rings and everything. And the plugs go up. So just pop them in. And it's in there. It's just pops right in. This one's a little bit tight. Always the last one gives trouble. There you go. Alright, so that one is tight. The oil helps you to get it in so nothing gets snagged or cut. And then we have the new rubbers on the ends here. So now we're going to get over to the engine and we're going to drop this right in. Alright, so the injector is over by the engine. So basically the new rubbers are here. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're just going to seat in. And then we got 3 bolts that will hold them in place. Don't forget these spacers. They go in here. You know, it's easy to forget them, but you need those guys. So we're going to start with just getting the injectors inside of the tunnel here, and getting this lined up, making sure these injectors seat in properly. It's nice and snug, so there are no leaks once these guys start spraying. And now we just get the bolts in, and we're going to torque these bolts down to 14 foot-pounds. So again, everything should go in nice and smooth. Nothing should be binding. So if anything is binding up, you're probably just revisit what you're doing and just check it out, because something is probably wrong. So everything looks good. Spacers are in. The seals, if you look at the seals are nice on the edge. Perfect seal right here. And now we're just going to torque everything down. So I set my torque wrench already to 14 pounds. So we're just going to go snug these guys in. And that's it, the rail is in. It's a pretty simple job. So right now we're just gonna do the last part, which is just get the spark plugs in. There you go, 14, 14, 14. So again, yeah, I know a lot of people are probably intimidated by injectors. It's not really a big deal, it's pretty simple. So here you side. I do have the fuel hose line kit, so there's a threaded hose that we bought here in the kit, as you saw before in my previous videos. This is the feed and this is the return line. This is a vacuum line that comes off of the fuel rail. So this is complete. We just need to get the hoses on and that part is done. So let's get to the spark plugs. So over here, as I mentioned, we got the NGKs. It's the BKR7E, and these are gapped. I got them gapped. I use the old school method. I know everybody says these guys don't work too well, and they're kind of a pain, but I was able to do it. So 0.028 is what I gapped these plugs to. So we got them all nicely gapped, and these are the old ones. So I mean, they were covered in oil, so these are old. So I got 0.028 and all, so these should work pretty well. I am gonna put a little bit of anti-seize on the threads, and then we're gonna bring it over to the engine. So anti-seize on the threads, put the plug in, screw her in, and then torque it to 13 foot-pounds. And that's pretty much it for spark plugs. So, you know, very simple, easy DIY maintenance you can do on your car, and if you're doing the swap, just get these things refreshed. Okay, so let's get these plugs in. I did put some anti-seize on the plugs, which is recommended. So they're on the threads here, so just put them on the thread. So next time you go to get these out, it's not a hard time. And so we're gonna put the spark plug in the spark plug socket, and we're gonna head over to the engine, okay? So let's start cylinder 1. Nice and easy, just get her down. Should just thread nicely inside, like everything we do. No need to force anything, it should go in nice and smooth. Let's get it all snug, pull up. And we just get all 4 in. Like I said, these were gapped before, so 0.028 is what's recommended for the Gen 5. So that's what we're gonna start off with, and hopefully everything runs well and car starts, runs, it's fast, and I'm happy, and everybody goes on by a Gen 5 and then the prices go up even more. And the MR2 fun continues. I hate this anti-seize stuff. It gets all over your glove and it just goes everywhere. Alright, nice and snug. And the last one, and then we just torque. Now obviously with any of these builds, you gotta have some tools. So you'll see the tools that I'm working with. So you can't fix a car without tools. So just know that that's something you gotta invest in if you're gonna do this job. You know, over the years, I've gotten quite a few tools. So I have a good collection. So 13 foot-pounds here set to this torque wrench. This, I only have a 1/2 inch, so that's all I gotta work with. And because it's a 1/2 inch, I'm just taking my time because I don't want to overtime these things by any means. Okay, so there you have it. Last plug torqued to 13 foot-pounds. So today we did the valve cover. We got that put on with a new gasket. We got the clean injectors and then the rail put back on. So that's looking sharp. And we just put new plugs in and torqued those down. So everything is torqued to spec. Now we got to get the coil packs in. These are pretty simple. They go in one way. They line up on the top of the valve here. So you just basically just push down, make sure it's snug over the plug, and then you put the screw in, and that's it. So we're just gonna drop these in, tighten that up. I had labeled them before, so it really doesn't matter which ones you took out to where, but hey, I did that when I took it off, so I'm just putting everything back in the way I took it off. And it just goes, it slips right over the spark plug. You kind of feel when it snaps over. And now we just drop the new shiny stainless screws in, and that's all set. So I'm gonna spin the engine around here so you guys see what this looks like. So everything is coming together. I am happy with how it's looking so far. And as we move forward, as I mentioned, the timing cover, we'll get to that next week. I still have a little work on the intake manifold to get done. So I'm gonna work on that as well. So who knows, I might do that before I do the timing cover, but we'll see. Leaves everybody in a little bit of suspense so you can see what's gonna happen next week. But here's the engine. This is what it looks like so far. So I don't know if you remember from the first video what it looked like, but it's coming along. It's looking good. So I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you're into MR2s, appreciate the support. And hopefully let me know if you'd like to see something different, any advice you'd like to give regarding the channel and how we do these videos. But appreciate, again, just the support. You know, we're growing in subscribers. I had 3 subscribers before, now I have some more. So that's a plus. And we hope we'll get some more. So thank you everyone for watching. Have a great day and keep on building and restoring these MR2s. Thanks.